This video will show you how to add a new sprint on the PI Sprints add-on. First of all, going to the sprints, you'll need to go to your sprints home here. If you have not done that yet, then you'll need to make sure that the sprints add-on is installed. First thing that you'll see on the sprints home is the columns here divided into whether the sprints are active, not active, or closed. To add a new sprint, you'll need to hit the add button here, as all new sprints are added as not active. We're going to call this one builds. When I added my dates here, you can see the required fields to create a sprint is the name of the sprint dates, start and end, and the primary project. This primary project is going to be build this thing, and you can add as many additional projects as you like. I'm just going to add one more. Please note that the additional projects is all other projects within your system. Next I'll hit save, and now I've got this new sprint here in this not active state. Before you make it active, let's go ahead and drill into the sprint, and let's add what tasks you need on the sprint. You'll note that there is 0% complete, there are no work hours on the sprint, it's not active, and there are no tasks selected from the sprint backlog. The sprint backlog reflects all of the tasks, whether they're open or closed or completed or not done, within the two projects that you've chosen. I chose build this thing and build a blog. Now all of the tasks within those two projects are listed in the backlog of the sprint. First I'm going to add some tasks from the backlog onto the sprint by hitting the add button here. And let's add one from the build a blog project. Next, let's take a note of how the total hours add up to 60 here. That is the hours reflected in the work section here up in the top. You can see it, the sprint as a whole is 13% complete, which is taken from the total summary of the percent complete of all the tasks. So if I go in and complete this task or almost complete it, it'll just move that percent complete forward, especially since that's 20 hours worth, and that shows that 23 hours completed out of the whole 60. Now I think the sprint is ready to be set as active. To do that, you'll go down here between the sprints tasks and the backlog to set the sprint as active. Once you've done that, you can decide whether all tasks start and end date match the sprint dates, which were the original dates entered on the sprint. I'm going to go ahead and select that. Go ahead and hit save. Now that the sprint is active and we've set that, if I go into one of these tasks, you'll see that the dates are now set from the sprint dates on each of these tasks that are added. One other nice thing is if I go into another one of these tasks, it will say and give me a link back to the sprint if any task is assigned to the sprint. So I can refer back to the sprint from that task, whichever task I'm on in PI. Going through the sprint lifecycle, as I mark each of my tasks complete, you'll notice that the percent complete on the bar just keeps moving forward and forward until the very end here, we're going to reach 100% complete. At that point, I'm ready to close out my sprint. Next, I can go ahead and hit close to close the sprint. Now I can't make any more edits on the sprint. If I go back to my sprint home, you'll see that the build sprint is now in the closed state over here in the far right column. This has been an overview of managing a sprint from start to finish after creating one in the not active state.